How did I know that I was going to get divorced? And how did I know that all that would, just circumstances of life.
But that's quick.
That was...
William Shatner, best known for his role as Captain Kirk in Star Trek, has had not only a stellar career, but also a tumultuous personal life. After receiving a sudden diagnosis, he faced seemingly insurmountable challenges. But what happened? Let's explore this inspiring story, and you will be amazed at what Shatner overcame to be reborn again. To better understand William Shatner's challenging journey, we need to look back at his early years and career, where the first steps opened up an unexpected future. William Shatner, born on March 22, 1931 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, to a family of Jewish descent, grew up in a modest but supportive environment. His father, Joseph Shatner, was a small businessman who owned a clothing store, and his mother, Anne Garmes, was a devoted homemaker. Although not a wealthy family, they believed in the importance of education and nurturing the talents of their children. William was the second of 3 children, and this helped him develop the ability to balance independence with family love. As a child, Shatner showed exceptional intelligence and creativity. He was often involved in school activities, especially drama. One of the first times he stepped on stage was in a performance at Baron Bing High School. This is where he discovered his burning passion for performing arts. Standing on stage, listening to the applause of the audience, planted in his soul the dream of becoming a real artist. Although at that time art was just a hobby, those around him realized that this boy had a great future in this field. After graduating from high school, Shatner attended McGill University, one of the most prestigious schools in Canada, where he majored in commerce. This choice was largely at the request of his family, who hoped that he would follow in his footsteps in business. However, during his time in school, Shatner quickly realized that business was not his passion. He spent most of his time participating in art activities at school, especially drama clubs, where he not only practiced his acting skills, but also began to build relationships in the industry. After graduating with a Bachelor of Commerce in 1952, Shatner decided to completely change direction and pursue an acting career. He joined the Canadian National Repertory Theatre, one of the most prestigious arts organizations in Canada, where he received formal training in acting techniques. This was an important stage in his career journey. Here, Shatner not only participated in Shakespeare's classic plays, but also learned to deeply immerse himself in a role, which later became a prominent feature of his acting style. The early years of his career were not easy. Shatner struggled to find a foothold in the entertainment industry. He accepted every role, from small parts in local plays to radio and television shows. Despite facing many failures, Shatner always persevered in his dream. One of his first breakthroughs came when he starred in the film The Brothers Karamazov in 1958, where he was praised for his expressiveness and depth of performance. In 1961, Shatner appeared in Judgment at Nuremberg, a film about the trials of Nazi war criminals. Although he only played a supporting role, his on-screen presence made a strong impression on critics and audiences. This was considered a big step in his career, opening up opportunities for him to enter Hollywood. However, the real breakthrough in Shatner's career came in 1966, when he was cast as Captain James T. Kirk in the science fiction series Star Trek. This role not only made him an international star, but also shaped his entire public image. Before taking on the role of Kirk, Shatner had to overcome a series of intense auditions, competing with many other talented actors. Interestingly, Shatner has styled the character of Kirk himself, making him a strong, decisive, yet emotional leader. William Shatner's tumultuous career journey has not only shaped his name, but also reflected in part his complicated personal life, especially in his tumultuous relationships and marriages. What were his marriages like? William Shatner has been married 4 times in his life, each relationship bringing its own unique experiences and lessons that shaped him. Shatner's first marriage was to Gloria Rand, a Canadian actress, in 1956. Gloria was the first companion in Shatner's long and tumultuous journey when he first entered the entertainment industry. They met on an acting project in their home country of Canada and quickly fell in love. Just a few years after their marriage, the couple welcomed 3 daughters, Leslie, Elizabeth, and Melanie, bringing great happiness to their small family. However, this marriage also faced many challenges. As Shatner's career began to take off, he had to constantly move between projects, from Canada to Hollywood, leaving him with little time for his family. During that time, he often had to be away from home for long periods to act in films and participate in plays. Meanwhile, Gloria had to shoulder the responsibility of taking care of the family and raising 3 young daughters. This distance gradually created an emotional distance between the two. By 1966, when Shatner was cast as Captain James T. Kirk in Star Trek, his schedule became even busier. The series quickly became a cultural phenomenon, but at the same time, his personal life began to fall into crisis. Gloria felt out of place in the spotlight that surrounded her husband, and the pressure of Shatner's fame and work made it impossible for the two to mend the cracks in their marriage. Their marriage officially ended in divorce in 1969. The separation was not amicable, but Shatner always tried to maintain a good relationship with Gloria and the children. After the divorce, he often visited and spent time with his 3 daughters, whom he always described as the greatest pride in his life. In the years that followed, Leslie, Elizabeth, and Melanie grew up under Gloria's care, but still maintained a strong bond with their father. Shatner has said that balancing work and family is one of the hardest things he has ever faced, but he has always tried to improve his father-son relationship after realizing his past mistakes. William Shatner's second marriage to Marcy Lafferty, daughter of famed producer Perry Lafferty, began in 1973. It was the longest relationship of his life, lasting more than 2 decades until it ended in 1996. Marcy was not only a devoted partner, but also a companion through the highs and lows of his life and career. Marcy Lafferty, who comes from a family with a background in the entertainment industry, understood the pressures and challenges Shatner faced as a famous star. At the time of their marriage, Shatner was still dealing with the complicated legacy of Star Trek. Although the series became a cultural phenomenon, Shatner faced serious financial difficulties after the series ended in 1969. The earnings from Star Trek were not enough to sustain the lavish lifestyle he had dreamed of, and he was forced to take on several odd jobs and even perform at small fairs to make ends meet. Marcy stood by him during these difficult times, encouraging and supporting him through not only financial but also emotional challenges. During their 23 years together, Marcy and Shatner experienced many ups and downs in their career. When Star Trek was revived with feature films starting in 1979, Shatner was once again the center of global attention. Marcy served as a rock, helping him cope with the pressures of fame and the growing expectations from the public. Besides, she also contributed to maintaining the balance between Shatner's family life and career, even though they did not have children together. During their 23 years together, Marcy and Shatner experienced many ups and downs in their career. When Star Trek was revived with feature films starting in 1979, Shatner once again became the center of global attention. Marcy acted as a solid support, helping him cope with the pressure of fame and the growing expectations from the public. In addition, she also contributed to maintaining a balance between Shatner's family life and career, although they did not have children together. However, their marriage was not without its challenges. Shatner's busy work schedule, coupled with his ambitious artistic projects, sometimes created distance in their relationship. Although Marcy tried to keep the flame of love alive, differences in views and lifestyles gradually led to the decision to separate in 1996. This was a quiet divorce, and the two maintained mutual respect. Shatner once shared that although they were no longer married, Marcy was still an important part of his life. He always appreciated her contributions. in helping him through the most difficult times. And her devotion was something he would always remember. In 1997, William Shatner entered into his third marriage to Nerine Kidd, a young, energetic, and vibrant woman. Nerine brought laughter and excitement to Shatner's life, especially in the early days of their relationship. Shatner once described her as a breath of fresh air, a woman who always found ways to make life interesting and colorful. However, beneath that cheerful exterior, Nerine was facing a fierce internal battle, alcoholism, which greatly affected her life and their marriage. Although Shatner tried his best to support Nerine through her difficulties, her alcoholism still became a source of tension in their marriage. He once shared that his efforts to help her overcome her addiction were one of the most difficult challenges he had ever faced. Shatner not only accompanied her through treatment programs, but also sought help from mental health professionals to better understand how to best support her. However, addiction still caused many conflicts and heartbreaking moments in their relationship. Tragedy struck one fateful evening in 1999. Nerine was found drowned in the swimming pool of their Studio City, Los Angeles home. According to police and medical examiners, she had been drinking before the accident. The tragedy not only ended a marriage, but also left deep pain for Shatner, who lived with feelings of guilt and loss for many years afterwards. He wondered what he could have done differently to prevent it, and those unanswered questions haunted him for a long time. In the months following Narine's death, Shatner sought to cope with his grief by expressing his feelings through writing. He poured his thoughts, feelings, and experiences into his memoir, Live Long and What I Might Have Learned Along the Way. In the book, he openly admits his mistakes and failures in helping Nerine, but also emphasizes that she was an important part of his life, someone who taught him a lot about patience, tolerance, and the power of love, even in the most difficult of circumstances. Shatner also devoted much of his life to advocacy for organizations that support people with addiction and their families. He believes that sharing his story publicly not only helped him heal, but also brought hope and motivation to others. In 2001, William Shatner embarked on a new journey of marriage when he married Elizabeth Martin, a talented horse trainer and outdoor enthusiast. Elizabeth, who was 27 years younger than Shatner, brought a new lease of life to his life. Not only did she share his love for animals, especially horses, but she also helped Shatner balance his work and personal life. The marriage to Elizabeth was seen as a peaceful and bright start, especially since Shatner had experienced many losses and upheavals in his previous relationships. The two often appeared together at major events, from award ceremonies to horse shows, where Elizabeth showed off her expertise and passion. Shatner, who also had a deep love for horses, quickly integrated into his wife's world. He not only accompanies her on horse farms, but also participates in charity programs and events promoting animal protection. The couple has launched many initiatives related to environmental and animal conservation together, demonstrating their harmony in life ideals. Elizabeth also plays an important role in helping Shatner maintain his health and energy in his 70s. With an active lifestyle, she encourages him to participate in physical activities such as horseback riding and hiking. The moments when the two of them ride horses together through green fields or participate in horse shows are often praised by the media as a symbol of a harmonious and respectful relationship. However, after nearly 2 decades together, in 2020, Shatner and Elizabeth announced their divorce, surprising many. The couple did not give a specific reason, but both emphasized that the separation was peaceful and respectful. Shatner once shared in an interview, "Elizabeth gave me wonderful years, and I will always be grateful for that. Even though we are no longer together, we still cherish the good memories." In addition to his marriages, William Shatner is known for his colorful and rich life thanks to his interests and passions. One of his greatest loves outside of acting is horses, an animal that he not only loves, but also has a deep attachment to. From caring for them to training, showing them, and even breeding them, Shatner has made this passion an integral part of his life. Shatner owns a large horse farm in Kentucky, where he spends hours every day caring for them. This passion began in the 70s when he first attended a horse show. He then quickly immersed himself in the horse-loving community and competed in saddlebred and standardbred horse shows. He has won many prestigious awards in horse shows, notably titles at the National Horse Show. His moments of riding horses in competitions are often praised by the public and experts, not only for his skills, but also for the emotional connection between him and this animal. Shatner once shared, "Horses are not only a passion, but also a therapy for the soul. When I ride a horse, I feel a sense of freedom, strength, and peace that nothing else can bring." During the most difficult years, especially after the death of his third wife, and challenges in relationships, the love for horses helped Shatner regain balance and peace of mind. In addition to showing and breeding horses, Shatner is also very active in preserving and developing the horse industry. He has organized and participated in fundraising auctions for organizations that protect abandoned and abused horses. Shatner also founded the Hollywood Charity Horse Show, a charity event that brings together horse lovers and celebrities to raise money for disabled children and veterans. The event reflects not only his passion, but also his dedication to using his influence for good. Just as he found solace, William Shatner was immediately faced with turmoil that left him devastated. Besides marriage, health is also a problem that William Shatner has to face. In the early 2000s, William Shatner began to experience worrying health issues when he began to experience some strange symptoms. He decided to see a doctor to check for health issues, especially because of his advancing age, and also because he was worried about changes in his body. The symptoms he experienced included problems with urination and pelvic discomfort, which are common in men his age and can be related to prostate problems. His doctor used these symptoms to perform a PSA test, a blood test commonly used to check for prostate cancer. The PSA test measures the amount of protein produced by the prostate in the blood, and when PSA levels are abnormally high, it can be a sign of prostate cancer. Because Shatner's PSA levels were abnormally high, his doctor concluded that he might have prostate cancer and recommended that he undergo further tests to confirm the diagnosis. Upon receiving this information, Shatner, who has always been known for his strong spirit, felt extremely confused and worried. During that period, he faced the ultimate fear of death when everything in his life seemed to be falling into chaos. However, after conducting additional tests and confirming his health condition, the doctors discovered that the initial results were a serious mistake, and Shatner did not have cancer as he had thought. Although the final results were positive, the experience left a psychological scar on him, forcing him to face the fragility of life and fears that had never entered his mind before. It was during this time of facing the impermanence of life that Shatner began to realize that life is a precious gift that not everyone can appreciate throughout their life. Although he did not have prostate cancer, this experience changed the way Shatner viewed and faced illness, death, and himself. Moreover, this fear of death became a strong push, motivating him to live a more complete and meaningful life, not only for himself, but also for those he loved. After facing a misdiagnosis of prostate cancer, William Shatner was constantly worried about his health, but no one could have expected that the real serious illness would strike in 2015 when he was diagnosed with melanoma, one of the most dangerous and difficult to treat skin cancers. Melanoma is a malignant skin cancer that originates from melanin pigment cells, and it can progress rapidly, spreading to other parts of the body if not detected and treated promptly. Shatner discovered the disease by accident. During a routine health check, doctors discovered a small tumor on his skin in an area that he had not previously noticed. Although the tumor appeared small and showed no signs of abnormality, doctors decided to perform a biopsy to test, and the results showed that he had melanoma. Shatner was shocked and panicked when he heard this news, although he had been through a series of misdiagnoses before. Being diagnosed with cancer made him feel more scared than ever. Shatner's physical suffering began with the surgeries to remove the tumor, and the lengthy treatment required him to deal not only with pain, but also with fear of the future. The anxiety about his ability to survive affected not only him, but also his family and loved ones. Shatner's feelings of loneliness and uncertainty during these moments were understandable, as no one could predict what the future would bring. In addition, he had to face doubts and anxieties while he was always known for being strong. But this disease tested his resilience as a man who had been through so much throughout his life. Shatner was not simply battling the disease, but he was also dealing with complicated emotions about death. Although he was a man capable of coping with hardship, the disease was a sharp reminder of the fragility of life and the psychological challenges one goes through when facing death realistically. Throughout his treatment, Shatner has continued to share his story not only with his fans, but also with others facing the disease. He has emphasized the importance of early detection of cancer and resilience in the face of adversity. Shatner also shared that during his treatment, he found comfort in the memories of his rich life, the wonderful experiences he had throughout his career, as well as the love and care from his family, friends, and fans who have always been there to support him. It is commendable that, despite facing a very serious illness, Shatner maintained a positive attitude. He did not allow himself to be defeated by the disease, but instead focused on the good things in life. Interviews with Shatner during this period showed that he was not only a person who was able to look at the challenges in life, but also a person who could find peace in the storm. He shared, "Even though I am fighting an illness, I still feel lucky to have been able to live long enough to experience the wonderful moments in this life." One of the things that helped Shatner maintain his inner strength was his deep love for horses. He spent a lot of time caring for and communicating with the horses he raised. The horses were not only his companions at horse shows, but also a great comfort on difficult days. Shatner has shared that horses help him find peace of mind when he feels tired due to illness. And even in times of poor health, he still insists on caring for his horses as a way to stay connected to life. William Shatner is still dealing with health issues related to melanoma, but he has remained positive and resilient throughout his treatment. Although his health has stabilized due to the nature of melanoma, a disease that can recur and spread rapidly if not treated promptly, Shatner still has to undergo regular checkups. In recent interviews, he shared that doctors have not detected any worrying signs after follow-up, but he is still very cautious and never complacent. What do you think about the way William Shatner faces life's challenges? If you were him, how would you feel? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.